cloudy, and the temperatures will be averaging for the most part in the low 50s. Partly cloudy overnight, 35, 36 for the low with light west winds. Mostly sunny Tuesday, mostly sunny Wednesday. The high each day, upper 40s and low 50s. Thanksgiving Day, mostly sunny near 60. We'll keep you updated. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. French President Emmanuel Macron is calling for closer Franco-German ties to prevent the world slipping into chaos. The French government says it's not backing down on a planned fuel tax rise after almost 250,000 people protested against it at the weekend. UK Prime Minister Theresa May says she won't reopen negotiations with Brussels over the Brexit deal agreed last week. And South Korea says it's still possible North Korean leader Kim Jong-un may visit Seoul this year.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Today, my special guests are Mr. Terry Finney, Mr. Jason Smith, and Miss Andrea Jones from Arkansas State University from the Financial Aid and Scholarship / Admissions Department. Are you all in one building now? No.
Yes, we're in one building, not in
one
the same
building.
office,
Okay.
though. Yeah.
All right, so I want to thank you all for joining us today. I know that there are some deadlines getting close to get applications in for the various departments, so we're going to go around the table, and since this is Miss Andrea's first time with us, I want her to please give us some background information on her. And how long have you been with Arkansas State in this department?
Good morning. I've been in financial aid and scholarships at Arkansas State for 7 years.
Okay.
I work in the scholarships department with Miss Dina Bowler-Graves.
Okay. And I know we talked a little bit off air, and you're a student as well. So
Yes, ma'am.
when do you hope to finish your degree?
I'll graduate in December.
In December,
Yes.
that's awesome. All right, so thank you for joining us.
Thank
And Mr.
you.
Jason, how long have you been with Arkansas State University?
I've been with Arkansas State for 8 years.
8 years, wow. In the same department?
No, I worked in athletics for 3 years and then 5 years in recruiting.
Recruiting.
Mhm.
And so now you're in enrollment services.
Yeah, so basically the Office of Recruitment, we're out there recruiting the freshman high school students
Okay.
that are coming in, and then also we're recruiting transfer students at
Okay.
community colleges.
I just saw some different posts online that you all had a transfer day.
We did.
One day last week.
We did. Yeah, we had
So-
about 75 transfer students from area community colleges came in and visited
Okay.
with us and got a campus tour and learned about financial aid and scholarships and basically everything about transferring to Astate.
So are these students that have already made their mind up this is where they want to go? Or
Not all of them. A lot of them are pretty interested. That's why they're coming to a preview day to
Okay.
get some real detailed information. But not every one of them's made their mind up. Some of them are absolutely sold, and some of them we're still selling on A-State, and that's really the day that they decide they do want to attend A-State in those preview days.
Well, we hope to see some future Red Wolves out of that bunch that came.
Yeah, absolutely. We need all of them.
All right. But Mr. Terry, how long have you been with the Department of Financial Aid or A-State?
I've been at A-State for 10 years now. Actually, my 10-year anniversary is coming up the 1st of December.
That's
so
awesome.
10 years at A-State and 32 years in financial aid. So I've been doing this for quite a while.
Wow. So are you going to have a big party, big shindig, something?
No, we're not going to do anything like that. We're just going to be another day.
Maybe we get Hal to surprise you and all of this stuff. All right, so we're going to get right into our topic today. We do want to say good morning to Rashard Cunningham and Miss Sonia Hunter. Thank you all for checking in. Those of you with students that are even juniors in high school and seniors, you definitely want to pay attention to the information that's going to be shared on today. So let's start with Mr. Jason, since I guess that's kind of the first step.
Absolutely.
What is the admission standard for a freshman?
So if you're coming in out of high school and you want to be a freshman at Arkansas State, we've got 2 admission standards.
Okay.
We've got conditional admission, which means you need a 19 on the ACT and at least a 2.3 high school GPA. And then we also have unconditional admission, which is a 21 on the ACT and at least a 275 high school GPA.
Okay.
So that's our admission standard to A-State.
Okay. Now, do many people or students still take the SAT?
The SAT normally is taken on the East and West Coast. It's really a West Coast test, so you'll see that a lot outside of Arkansas. But in the South, people mainly take the ACT. So over 99% of our admissions applications are going to have an ACT with them.
Okay.
So we don't see it very often. Every once in a while, if a student were coming from another state pretty far from Arkansas, they may take the SAT.
And what would you recommend to parents or students is the optimal time to start taking the ACT?
As soon as possible. They'll have some pre-tests you can take when you're like a freshman in high school. There's a PSAT and some different things you can do. I would suggest getting enrolled in a prep course early. That can really help. And then start taking the ACT as many times as you can. You can take it 12 times. So they offer it multiple times a year. I think they offer it September, October, December, February, April, June, and July of every year. So you want to get in on as many of those as you can. But I'd say 3 or 4 would be at least. And normally that first 1 or 2, you kind of get your feet under you and understand what the test is like. And you'll do better after a couple. So you really want to peak out after several tests.
Okay. And I do want to let everyone know that we know there's a fee attached to taking the ACT. However, there are many groups, social organizations, mentoring groups that offer to cover the cost of the fee. One of you are part of their group, or they may offer a special scholarship or award for someone in their community. So be on the lookout for those groups that are giving away scholarships or awards to help cover the cost of ACT, because we want every student out there to take the test as many times as they are able to. Again, like Mr. Jason said, enroll in those prep courses. I know that, and I might get the name of it wrong, but it used to be adult education learning center next to workforce. I'm sorry, the name of the actual name slips my mind at the moment, but they offer some courses, prep courses as well. And there's another, there's another after school agency. I'm sorry, I don't have all the information on hand right now, but I'll make sure to get that soon. There are agencies around town that do help with preparing students, and they're free. So we want to get the students in as many free programs as possible. So
yes, there's lots of opportunities. I would suggest for a high school student to start with their high school counselor and go say, I'm interested, I want to learn about the ACT. Is there a prep course? And they should have all kinds of information on different prep courses. That may be through the high school, it may be through a community organization, it may be through a university. So we do some stuff like that as well. And the high school counselor would be knowledgeable in that and be able to help them get enrolled in one of those courses. And there's not necessarily always a fee associated with that, but the counselor would know that at the local high school. That's really where the student needs to go.
Alrighty. Then what types of visits do you offer for potential students? We talked a little bit about preview day, but there's so much more.
We've got so many different types of visits for a student. So we'll start with preview days. We do several preview days a year. We're going to do them in the fall and the spring. We'll have a junior preview day, which we call Pack Preview. And I think this year we had about 900 different students that came, so there were so many. But we'll also do senior events, which we call academic open houses. And those are events where you can come in and visit with the actual department that you're interested in. So, if you were interested in ag, then we have a day for the Department of Agriculture or whatever, nursing. There's a nursing day. So we have those. But also what we offer, and those are only a few times a year, but what we offer is just regular campus visits. So a student can go online to www.astate.edu/visit, and they can go in there and just schedule a campus visit with Rob Gordon, our campus experience recruiter, at the new Welcome Center. So we're very blessed to have the new Welcome Center sponsored by Centennial Bank, where we welcome all of our new students to campus and visitors. And we run those pretty much every day. We run them at 9:30 and 1:30. So we have a couple of different offerings. We have general campus visits, which means you haven't really decided on an academic area. You're just wanting to get a presentation, learn about scholarships, res life, some things like that. Just get some general information. Then there's a campus tour after that, and so we run those Monday through Thursday at 9:30, and then also on Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 1:30. And then also, in addition, we have specific academic areas that you can visit if you want an academic visit. So we have college and agriculture on Thursdays at 1:30. We have business on Thursdays at 1:30. We have education and behavioral science on Monday at 9:30. It's every Monday, every week. We have engineering 1:30 every week. Fine arts, music and theater Monday at 1:30. Fine arts. Art majors also Monday at 1:30. We have humanities on Monday at 1:30. We have media and communication on Tuesdays at 9:30, and nursing health professions on Thursdays at 9:30, and also science and math on Mondays at 9:30. So you can just go to that website and you can click, do I want a general visit, or am I looking for a specific academic area that I'd like to spend more time with?
Okay.
And those are great. We offer those every day, and we even do some Saturdays once a month. So you can look on the website to see which Saturdays we're offering a visit as well.
That's awesome. Again, the website is www.astate.edu/visits.
Yes.
Okay. Or if you just go to the website, there's a little magnifying glass search box. Type in visits, and you'll get all the information you need. So I'm sure Mr. Jason's office will be happy to help you in any way possible.
Absolutely. We'll get you set up. If you want to visit campus, give us a call or go to our website and schedule that visit, and we will get you in to meet with folks at Astate.
All right. And, again, this is another one of those time frame questions. When do you suggest parents and students really start looking at colleges? Some people wait the second semester of the senior year.
They do.
Should they start looking even?
You should.
Junior year?
I think sophomore year is a good year to at least start thinking about it.
Okay.
So sophomore year, a student should probably sit down with their parents and say, I'm interested in going to college. Let's start putting together a game plan. And that might be visiting with the recruiter that would come through your high school. It might be talking to your counselor, be starting to get some information on the ACT and get prepped for that. That's really the sophomore year.
Okay.
The junior year, you need to kind of narrow it down and say, okay, here's the schools I want to go visit. And a great time to do that would be, like a college day, take a college day or something like that, late in your junior year, spring of your junior year, maybe that summer. We get a lot of visitors in the summer after their junior year, before their senior year. But we'd really like you to really get involved your junior year and really start looking at schools. I always suggest to students, as you get into the fall, you really need to have it narrowed to 2 or 3 schools as you enter the fall of your senior year, because they have deadlines, and you're going to want to go ahead and be admitted to your top 1, 2, 3 schools, just depending on what you're looking at, before the scholarship deadlines and things like that. So you don't want to wait until spring. You can. You just may miss some deadlines, and every once in a while we'll catch some students. They'll say, "Oh, I just wasn't thinking about it." But we do a great job of getting out in the high schools. We visit pretty much every high school within a 3-hour radius of Jonesboro, and so we're out there. We have our recruiters telling students, visit campus, apply, don't miss these deadlines, and all those things. So
I just want to tell everybody, don't be like me. Wait till your spring semester, senior year, and then I only apply to one school.
Well, you can do that. You can. There's some students.
Not the best thing to do.
There are students that have made their mind up, and they're absolutely coming to Arkansas State, and so that's great. If that's for sure what you're going to do, then just apply to Arkansas State. But if you're looking at several schools, I would suggest you go ahead and apply to all of them and narrow it down later.
Yes, sir. Again, you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mr. Jason Smith, Miss Andrea Jones, and Mr. Terry Finney from Arkansas State University from financial aid and scholarships. And we're going to get to some more information. I promise you're going to get to financial aid and scholarships. We just want to get you like the foundation of, first you got to get the application, and you got to get admitted as a student before you can find a way to pay for your education. Let's talk about freshmen living on campus. Some of them, especially once they live within the city, Some want to get away from home and some don't.
Sure.
What is the requirement or recommendation for freshmen?
So we do have a freshman housing requirement that you have to live on campus.
Okay.
If you live within 25 miles of Jonesboro, then you can apply for a waiver as long as you live with your parents or your guardian, and you'll be granted that waiver to live at home.
Okay.
But, we see a lot of students, even in our local area here in Jonesboro, that come to campus and live on campus. And there's really a lot of reasons for that, but mainly convenience and getting plugged into the campus. So studies have shown that students who are involved, that live on campus, will have higher grades and graduate at a higher rate. And so we really want all freshmen to live on campus and stay with us and learn about what's going on outside of the classroom, because there's so many learning opportunities that don't necessarily take place just in that classroom from 9 to 10 o'clock or whenever your classes are.
Now, I would say this, even though my time as a freshman was years ago, get involved on campus. And I think being on campus helps students get more involved. They get to interact with other students from different places, meet their teachers. They have quicker access to their advisor and everyone else on campus. So I would definitely advise students to take advantage of living on campus, especially that first year, that fall and spring semester, not just one semester.
And at A-State, we've had a great program for years, but really in the last year, Dr. Danvers, our chancellor, has put in a new task force for retention, and they really raised the retention for our freshman students.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of new support services out there for students. If they have things they need to work on, time management or maybe tutoring or whatever it may be. And if you do live on campus, it's just easier to get access, more convenient to those services. So we really encourage you to live on campus.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. All right. And then what is the cost of, let's talk about tuition.
Sure.
Some students like, it's too expensive, parents, it's too expensive. So let's talk about some tuition.
Sure. Well, college is a big investment. It's an investment in yourself.
Okay.
I look at it like, buying a house, getting a mortgage or something like that.
Okay.
It's a big lifetime investment, but you're investing in yourself. So the cost for tuition and fees, if you're an in-state student, is about $8,628 if you're taking a normal load, which is 15 hours in the fall and 15 in the spring. So that's for the year, $8,628 tuition and fees. Then if you live on campus, room and board, about another $8,300. And then you're looking at books and supplies for the year, about $1,000. So the yearly total is about $17,900, really close to $18,000 if you're living on campus, buying your books, room and board, which is your food and everything, and tuition and fees. So I know Andrea and Terry will talk about how you pay for that in just a second. But there's so many ways to pay for college. No one should feel like I can't go to college because I can't afford it. There's a way to put together a package, and that's the way most people afford to go to college, is through some sort of financial aid package, a number of different things that help you pay for it, loans, scholarships, different things you put together. It's not just one thing really that helps you pay for school.
And I want to say this to parents. This is one thing I wish my family had taught me more of, putting money aside from the beginning. When you have children, think about the future. They may or may not go to college, but for the just in case, start some type of interest-bearing account that you don't touch, and you make deposits on it every now and then. And you'll be surprised at how much it grows. That will save you from so many loans and other things that you have to pay back. So hopefully, people start thinking be more forward thinking when it comes to, yes, sir.
Well, I was just going to add to that. Arkansas does have a 529 savings plan, or a 529 savings plan. And that allows parents to start at a very early age with their children to start saving for school. And then when they take that out, they have that, or when the student gets college age, then they have that pot of money that they've contributed over the years that they can draw upon to be able to use to offset tuition or room and board costs or whatever it may be. And we have several we'll see that come through our university, and it's just a resource, and they just draw on this amount of money, and it's just there. So it's nice to be able, that's something to think about early.
That's awesome.
As far as your children are concerned.
I'm going to have to definitely look up some more information on that and pass that information around, especially for parents with children in elementary school. This would be a great time for them to start really saving. We never know where our children are going to end up, but for that, just in case, we want them to have that cushion.
It's just, you say you put $100 a month back, and you think that's not a whole lot of money, but you do that over a 18-year time frame, and that's going to draw a little bit of interest, over the time. So that adds up.
Okay.
And it's just, you can add more to it or whatever you need to do. But it's just something, just another area or avenue to think about as far as college is concerned.
All right. We're going to definitely save that information and pass on. Get ready to take a quick break here. And so when we come back, we'll talk about a few more things from admissions and then roll into, okay, now we're admitted into school, and how do we pay for this? So again, you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I know for everyone watching the live feed, the description is wrong. I'm going to change that. But we are speaking with Mr. Jason Smith, Mr. Terry Feeney, Ms. Andrea Jones from Arkansas State University, Financial Aid and Scholarships and Admissions. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are your kids the center of your universe? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Once when my wife and I were about to go out, my daughter said, "But Mom, I want you to stay here." My wife replied, "No, honey, I'm going on a date with Daddy." Wow. I felt like $1 million. My wife was protecting her time with me and making us a priority. Our kids need to know how much we love them, that they are a priority to us as well, but that they are not the center of the universe. If they think they are, 3 things will happen. First, your marriage will suffer. Putting all your time and energy into your kids leaves only leftovers for your spouse. For more reasons not to let your kids think they are the center of the universe, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by...
Several years ago, a school bus technician came into the parts department and said, "I need a school bus radiator as fast as I could get it." Our parts man had the radiator sent to Kennett, Missouri on the first bus coming out of Memphis. He told Alan, the bus technician, to call him as soon as he picked the radiator up. At 3 o'clock in the morning, he called our parts man and said, "I just picked the radiator up. You told me to call you." Glenn sang, and God bless our troops.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Jonesboro Coca-Cola is proud to support KLEK and its mission to serve Jonesboro and the surrounding area. From Jonesboro Coca-Cola, here's wishing all of KLEK listeners a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
KLEK is starting a new fundraiser which will allow listeners to donate to KLEK while buying groceries. KLEK is a part of the Kroger Community Rewards fundraising program. When shoppers visit a participating Kroger and scan his or her Kroger Plus shoppers card, a portion of the savings goes back to KLEK to help keep it on the air. Details on how to sign up for the program are available at KrogerCommunityRewards.com and at KLEKFM.org. This is a KLEK fundraiser.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mr. Terry Finney, Mr. Jason Smith, and Miss Andrea Jones from Arkansas State University from the Financial Aid and Scholarships Department, as well as the Enrollment Services or Admission. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We're going to jump right back into our conversation. We left off with Mr. Jason, and he's going to give us some more information concerning admissions. We're going to talk about how many majors does Arkansas State offer at the moment.
Right. So one of the great advantages to come into a big school, Arkansas State's the second largest institution in the state of Arkansas. And so one of the great advantages to come into a large institution is we have a number of majors for you to pick from. So we have about 140 different options. And so that's quite a bit. And so pretty much most things you can think of, we would have a major where you could get a degree in that field or something very similar.
And
so
I also saw on the website that there are several certificate programs as well, associate and certificate programs.
Sure.
So it's amazing what Arkansas State University has to offer. Even though I'm not even finished with my bachelor's yet, I'm still looking into grad school and looking at something else somewhere else down the line. So there's something for everyone.
Right. And, we'll find students that attend and get a bachelor's degree, and then they'll come back to us years later, and they may get a master's, they may get some sort of certification, continuing education. There's just a lot of different things you can do at Arkansas State. But if you're looking for that bachelor's degree, we've got about 140 options for you, so should be able to find something that can help you get a job in a career field you want to be in.
All right. And then, what should potential high school students do to prepare for college? We know that the GPA needs to be anywhere between a 2.3 to 2.75. And I've said this time and time again to other students, start your freshman year, building your transcript and building up your GPA. Don't wait again until senior year to say, okay, I need to get on the ball. And by that time, you kind of, lost some time.
Right. So we've already kind of talked a little bit about prep, but you need to be thinking about ACT and getting in a prep course for that because that'll really help you for college. But keep your grades up. That's what's so important. And I really encourage students and families to lean on the support at the local high schools. They have professionals, whether it's teachers or counselors or support folks that can help students academically. There may be after-school tutoring or something like that can help a student, but once you get into high school, you really need to focus on your GPA, because it can really make a difference whether you get into the college of your choice, and then it can have a huge effect on how much it's going to cost. So you really need to be focused on that as a family. I believe everything's pretty much a family decision with college, and so you need to work with your counselors. That's their job, is to help you get into your college of your choice. So but work on it early. Don't wait until the last second. You can do that, but it'll benefit you to start early, and really focus on those things that can help you and getting that support you need to get your grades up in your ACT as high as possible.
All right, I want to say good morning to Mr. Adrian Everett. Hey, Adrian. He says good morning, Jason.
Hey, Adrian.
Terry and Andrea. All right, and so last question, can a student transfer to A-State?
Sure, and so I wanted to make sure we talked about transfer students, because we spend so much time talking about high school students that are coming to college as new freshmen, but there's a lot of transfer students that come to Arkansas State, between 800 and 1,000 a year that transfer in out of our 14,000. So that's a large group of students that we want to make sure that we focus on, and we've reorganized some things at A-State to make it even easier here in the last year for transfer students. But we have scholarships for transfer students, whether you're coming from another 4-year institution or a 2-year community college, but you can absolutely transfer into A-State, and that may be an option that you need to look at. If you can attend a local community college, and most communities have a community college within an hour of wherever they are. There's 22 in the state of Arkansas community colleges, and that may be a great option for you to take a look at that and say, okay, I'm going to transfer after I go to a community college and get an associate's degree. So we also cater to those students as well. So absolutely. One other thing I thought about, or Mr. Terry actually brought up, was we were talking about admission. The 19 on the ACT and the 21 on the ACT for conditional and unconditional admission, we do super score. And so super scoring, that's something we started about a year ago, I believe. It's something we had not done in the past. But super scoring means every time you take your ACT, we just combine all the sub-scores and divide them up and find up there, and you take the high score of each subset. So if you were to score in a certain area really high one time and maybe a little bit lower, we'll take the highest sub-score and we divide them out. So it's not a composite 19, it's actually a super scored 19. So that can really help. That's why taking that ACT multiple times has even become more important. You want to go in there and take it several times, and you may have an area that you're not as strong in, and you may get stronger as you take that test over and over. We'll just take the highest sub-scores and make a super score, which can get you admitted and for scholarships.
Okay, so look, you have no excuse not to apply and take that ACT as much as possible, because A-State is trying to get you into the pack.
We want you. We absolutely want you as part of the pack, and we want to graduate you. So absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Not only do they want to bring you into the pack, they want to help you transition into the workforce somewhere.
Right.
At some point.
Absolutely.
All right. So now we talked about how to get you in. Let's talk about how to pay for all of this. So, Miss Andrea.
Scholarships is a great way to pay for it.
Okay.
Scholarships you earn, you don't have to pay back.
Okay.
And at A-State, we offer 3 types of scholarships.
Okay.
We have our institutional scholarships, which that's our ACT and GPA-based scholarships.
Okay.
That the majority of those go out to high school seniors. We also have an institutional scholarship that's for transfer students.
Okay.
But for high school seniors, our institutional scholarships start out at a 23 ACT, and for scholarships like admissions, we use the super scores. We super score what we have on file in admissions, so it's important that not only do you take the ACT, but that you have that score sent to A-State by the deadline. So the deadlines for our institutional scholarships, we've started something new this year. We have a priority deadline and a final deadline.
Okay.
Priority deadline is December 1st.
Okay.
And as long as you're fully admitted to the university with your official ACT scores and your high school transcript on file admissions by that priority deadline, we're going to offer you the scholarship that you're eligible for automatically. Final deadline is February 15th. And if you miss that priority deadline, or if you retake the ACT in December, we'll use that December score to either upgrade you or make you eligible for a scholarship, as long as we have all that information you're admitted by February 15th.
Okay, so someone gets admitted in the fall. Let's say this we're gonna take fall 18. This is where we are now. Someone got admitted fall 18. But they still need to take the ACT one more time, and so they take the ACT in December or whatever, and whenever it's offered again, you get that information. Since they don't graduate until May of that next year, 19, you can still have time to upgrade your scholarship if they get a better grade.
Yes.
A better score, rather.
Yes, ma'am. Up until the final deadline of February 15th, and then the Promise Scholarship has a final deadline of June the 1st.
June the 1st. Okay. So there's deadlines to look out for. Again, all this information can be found at astate.edu. You can type in scholarships or either /scholarships, or go to the little magnifying glass and type it in, and you can find all this information. And I'm seeing that under the institutional scholarships, there is Astate Scholar, Excellence, Leadership, Pride, Spirit, Promise Scholarship, and out-of-state scholarships. There's a variety of different things to look at.
Yes. Now, our A-State Scholar, that is our top and most prestigious scholarship.
Okay.
That one will not accept super scores, and it has a hard final deadline of December 1st.
Okay.
Because that one is not automatic. You have to apply additional application, and it's competitive. It's highly competitive, and they'll choose those recipients before the end of December.
Okay. Now, what about students, say you get a batch of applications, and all these students have 3.7s and 4.0s and whatever the highest GPA they can get. Are you then looking at their essays to whatever the questions you ask to how they answer those questions?
For the A-State Scholar?
Yes.
For the A-State Scholar, I didn't look at that. That's done through Honors College.
Okay.
But yes, they do. They have to submit letters of recommendation. So those are looked at. They have a personal statement and essay. So everything that they submit is looked at.
Okay. All right. So again, is there anything the students can do to prepare if they know they're going to be applying for scholarships? We know there's an essay portion involved. There's letters of recommendation. What can they do ahead of time to start preparing for that? Or can they prepare?
Yes, they can start. I always tell students start early.
Okay.
Get a student resume, just like a work resume, but it's going to show all the things you've done in high school, all your volunteer work, and definitely volunteer as much as possible.
Okay.
That looks good on your student resume when you are involved in student government in school. You're going to write all that down. It's just a brag sheet of all your accomplishments as a high school student.
All right. So again, parents, anyone out there listening, if you have, and there may be some kids listening on Thanksgiving break right now, so start working on your resume. Start thinking about where you want to go to school, and keep a running list of your achievements. You know, don't feel bad about the things you have achieved because you worked hard for it. So the colleges want to see that.
Yes.
All right. All right. So again, we talked about the deadlines: December 1st, February 15th, absolute final. But again, there's more information because every scholarship has its own requirements as well. So make sure you go to astate.edu, look at these scholarships and find out what the requirements are and stay on top of it. Can someone apply outside of their senior year for a scholarship?
Yes, that would be our privately funded scholarships. That's another one of our programs. The privately funded scholarships are the university endowments and departmental scholarships. There's over 300 scholarships in this program, and you can apply online at our website December 1st through February 1st of every year, and you need to reapply every year. It's a one-stop shop, basically. You fill out the one application, a computer program runs, matches what you put on your application and what all the various scholarship criteria is for all the different committees. So the more information that you put on your application, the more chances you have of receiving multiple scholarships from that program, and you can.
And I want to let everyone know, and I know this information because I'm a non-traditional student, and through the Multicultural Center and Non-Traditional Student Services, there are scholarships and other financial resources available. So if you feel like, well, I'm over this age or I don't meet this criteria, there is something for everybody.
Yes.
And so do not let that deter you from applying if you are a non-traditional student. Like myself, and if you're an online student, there are things that are available for you too. So don't miss out on that extra money, because as Mr. Terry is going to come in and talk about financial aid, that's where you get into where you have to pay this money back. You're going to, you may be accepted for a loan, but at some point you have to pay it back.
That's true.
All right, so Mr. Terry.
Let me talk just a little bit about the federal financial aid programs. One thing I want to throw out real quick is don't forget about the lottery scholarship.
Oh, okay.
But I want to kind of get into both of those at this time. One thing I want to talk about, the FAFSA, and everybody hears about the FAFSA. One thing I want to point out is the free application for federal student aid, key word being free. Okay? And we get a lot of folks that will come in and ask about someone requesting money from them, or saying, if you'll fill this out, we'll help you find these scholarships, or we'll help you find different types of aid. And what I always tell people is, if you want to write somebody a check and give them money, just write it to me. I'll take it from you, and I'll tell you the same thing they're going to tell you.
Wow.
So very important to keep that in mind, that it is free, and all this whole process for scholarships, federal aid, state aid, it's all free.
Okay.
And I just want everybody to keep that in mind. One of the themes I think that we've looked at this morning already is early. And the earlier that you can fill this form out, the better. It opens October 1st, so it's already been out there for a couple of months now. And we encourage everyone to go out and fill it out as soon as they possibly can. Also, the application, or it's called the universal application for the Department of Higher Education for the lottery scholarship, it was available October the 1st as well.
Okay.
So we hope that everyone, particularly seniors, that they've already gone out and filled the form out, filled the application out for the lottery scholarship. We do a lot of financial aid nights at high schools across this area, and that's one of our first questions. How many of you already filled out the FAFSA? How many of you filled out your universal application? And a lot of the high schools, as Jason was mentioning earlier, the high school counselors, they have programs where we come in and help them do this, and they also set this up in their classes as well, so that students can fill out those different applications, particularly the state application for the lottery scholarship, because that's free money. I mean, you just either have a 19 ACT or a 2.5 high school grade point average, and you're going to get the lottery scholarship, and that's $1,000 your first year.
Wow.
And if you renew that, that's $4,000 your sophomore and junior year, and then $5,000 your senior year. So that's a pot of money we don't want anyone to miss out on.
Okay, and I want to give everyone the website. If you go to myarkansasLottery.com, click on scholarships and scroll down, you will see some more information about your lottery dollars at work. It talks about the academic challenge scholarship, how to apply, recipients, and there's even a tab on where people have actually won or been awarded this scholarship between 2011 and 2019. But there's a link to click on scholarships.adhe.edu, which is Arkansas Department of Higher Education.
Right.
And it takes you to the site where you can actually submit applications. Now, can you also submit applications for other scholarships on this website?
That one application is for every scholarship that the state of Arkansas has available.
Oh, wow.
So for their law enforcement, they have scholarships. What's that called, Andrea? The law enforcement one. There's a KIA, like Killed in Action, for law enforcement. There's also, what else? There's Distinguished Governor's Scholarship. So everything that the state of Arkansas offers, you just fill out that one application.
That's amazing. So you never know what you might be eligible for if you don't fill out the application.
Right, and even non-traditional students. I mean, we encourage you need to fill that out every year because there's a portion of the funds that are set aside for non-traditional students as well. So it's important to note. Again, it just goes with the theme of don't pass up any opportunities you have to fill out an application like our private scholarship application. It's free. It takes like a minute to do that. Some may be a little more complicated, but don't pass anything up. You have to go look for these things from time to time. They're not just going to come up and be handed to you, but you've got to do a few things that, for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get into, I can remember when I started school back in the 90s, the process, I'm sure it's changed and been more streamlined since then. We would fill out the FAFSA on the first several days of class. Money may not have already been sent to the school, allocated where it needs to go, and the financial aid has a line of students wrapped around the building because they're stressed out, they can't go to class or whatever because their money's not in. And so tell us now what the process is like.
It's a lot easier these days to fill the FAFSA out. It's all online. You can go to FAFSA.ed.gov, and that's the website. You fill it out online. A couple of things that have changed in the last couple of years. One is we're in a process now with the FAFSA. It's called prior year.
Okay.
One of the problems that we ran into was you were filling out your tax return at the same time you were filling out the FAFSA.
Okay.
So people were, do I fill it out? Do I wait? What do I do? So now students that started October 1st that are filling out the FAFSA for the 1920 school year, which is starting next fall, they're using their 2017 tax returns.
Okay.
So you already have that done.
Okay.
And so when you get to that financial part of it, then there's a process called data retrieval, and that was something that the IRS and the Department of Education put together 3-4 years ago, where when you get to that, you can just ask for your information to be brought over into the FAFSA. So it's correct. You don't have to worry about making corrections or sending it back. It keeps students from having to go through the verification process, and it's really simple. We can have a student fill a FAFSA out, and if we get the say they fill out on a Friday, we can get the results by Monday or Tuesday. We can have that student awarded possibly by Friday of that week. Now, let me say this real quick. That doesn't mean wait. That still means to get it done early, but that's how quickly it can be done. So you get it early, you can know now. You can know now, have a good idea of what you're going to get for next fall.
All right. Well, we thank you for that's awesome. All right. Again, don't wait. Do not hesitate. Get all of these applications in: admission, scholarship, financial aid, everything. Get it in early as possible. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with more deadlines and other things you need to know that we may not have covered. You tune in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Good morning to Chelsea Chapman and Ms. Kaylee Brown.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Sooner or later, it's bound to happen. You'll go over on your credit limit, or forget to pay a bill, overspend while on vacation. Hey, even I bounce a check every once in a while. Everyone, including the wealthiest people, makes money management mistakes. Don't let that discourage you from continuing to practice good money habits. Here's how to do it. First, do not punish yourself. Next, understand what went wrong and take concrete steps to prevent it. For example, if you keep maxing out your credit cards after paying down the balances each month, put away the plastic and only carry cash for a while. Finally, do what you can to limit the damage. For example, if you made an impulse purchase that was not in your budget for this month, take the time to figure out how to make up for it in next month's budget. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com. Starks Auto Plaza, your pre-owned superstore, is a longtime supporter of KLEK. 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard, Starks offers clean, reliable vehicles of all makes and models. Starks also offers no-hassle pricing with approved credit. At Starks, you're always family, and our motto is, we never say no. 870-203-9980. StarksAutoPlaza.com.
House of Details, located at 3915 East Highland in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, waxing, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with a motto of anything mean we can clean. Details at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and at klekfm.org.
Do you like the music you hear on KLEK 102.5 FM? Do you like the educational programming that we provide? Do you like the service we provide to the community? Do you like having a station to finally call your own that represents you? If so, please stop by or call any of our underwriters or sponsors that you hear on KLEK and tell them thank you for their support. The support of our underwriters and sponsors is vital for us to stay on the air. So be sure to let them know that you thank them for their support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to the last segment of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mr. Terry Finney, Mr. Jason Smith, and Miss Andrea Jones from Arkansas State University, Financial Aid Scholarships and Admissions. And we're going to let them wrap up. Any final thoughts they have, any deadlines we want to cover again for those who may have missed them in the beginning? And just some other, fun facts about Arkansas State University.
I'll go ahead and just start, and I'll let Jason and Andrea finish it up, but just to kind of get back to talking about the free application.
Okay.
Just go ahead and get that filled out as soon as you possibly can.
Okay.
And if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 different colleges or institutions that you're thinking about going to, you can have that sent to every one of them.
Okay.
And you take that or have it sent to those different institutions, and as Jason was mentioning earlier about a package, you'll get a financial aid package from each one of those. If you're admitted, you'll have to get admitted to them, but you'll get a package with scholarship information, with federal information like student loans or Pell Grants or work study, and you'll get information eventually about the lottery scholarship as well. So it's just a combination of all different types of aid that'll go into a package, and you use that to look at what the total cost is and just subtract that from it. It'll give you an idea of what you're going to owe. But it's good to be able to know that, to be able to get that process taken care of. And as I said before we left, we're going to have that information out to new students in December and in January, so we'll be able to give you the whole package and tell you what you're going to get at that time. So I just want to throw that in and remind everybody to get that FAFSA filled out now.
All right, and one question I want to ask about work study. I know it says that it's a way for students to earn money while they're in college.
Yes.
Can they opt, or their parents opt, to have that money go toward their bill?
They can, yeah, they can. When we award, it's federal funds, and what they can do is they can set up a sign an agreement or whatever with the treasurer's office. And when that comes in, we just can't take it.
Okay.
They will get a check, or they'll have to sign it and give it back to us because it's their money and it's federal funds. So it's little things you have to do. But yeah, they can use that to pay for their tuition or fees or room and board, whatever it may be.
All right, and then we talked a little off air about how there are other job opportunities for students who earn money.
There's a lot of opportunities on campus for students who want to work on campus. A lot of the different colleges or departments have jobs available and have their own funds to be able to hire students. And then there's a lot of other, I think I mentioned to you, of activities that go on campus at the Convocation Center and the Fowler Center. And there's students that are needed to work in those different areas and to help with concerts and shows and just different things. So if you want to work on campus, there's an opportunity to be able to do that.
All right. And this may be an adjacent question, for incoming freshmen. Students think, I'm broke, I need money, I need this, I need that, and they try to get jobs off campus, not realizing, I have 12 to 15 hours of class and studying, and then I'm trying to juggle social life and a job off campus. Would you recommend them try to get a job on campus?
Yeah, that's where I would start. If you can get a job on campus, just like living on campus, it's more convenient. We structure things for students, so I know most of the offices, if you're in a work-study program or working our front desk or whatever your job may be as a student worker, when we get around finals time, we definitely ease up on them and let them have some time to study and things like that. So we set their schedules up around their class because that's most important to us. And you may not run into that as much if you're out in the community, working at a restaurant or something like that. But you do what you need to do. That's right. So.
Well, we hope that, again, everyone, all parents that are listening, grandparents, whoever, take into account, okay, my child may want to go to college. Let's start freshman year and way before to really try to help provide that cushion so that when they start out, they're not dependent upon getting a job off campus. That was one mistake I made my second semester in school, and then my studies struggled. And anyway, long story. But students need to be more focused on their schoolwork. They took all this time to make the grades, take the ACT, get the scores they needed. I don't want to see any student jeopardize that by thinking, okay, I have to do this extra to try to maintain. So let's do the best we can as parents. I know life happens, but All right, Miss Andrea.
I just want to reiterate our deadlines for our scholarships for high school seniors. The institutional scholarship deadline, priority deadline is December 1st.
Okay.
I want to push that deadline.
December 1st.
Shoot for December 1st. Like they've been saying all during the show, it's early. Early is better. That December 1st deadline is a guarantee. As long as you get us your information, you're admitted by December 1st, and you meet the criteria, you're getting a scholarship. That's guaranteed. And then also December 1st is when our privately funded application opens.
Okay.
So if you remember that day, you could finalize one scholarship and start on the next.
All right, so look, right after Thanksgiving, December 1st, is mark your calendar and start applying for scholarships or submitting. You need to either have one, either submitted or start applying for another. All right, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We'll hopefully get you in the spring semester as well to share some more updates, information. Any final words in our last minute and a half?
I had a couple of things. The main thing I wanted to finish up with is how do you apply? So we've talked about this all day, but there's really just 5 things we need to finish with.
Okay.
We call it Strive for 5. Students should go online, astate.edu, click on Apply Now and apply. There's a $30 application fee they'll need to pay. If a student is on free or reduced lunch, they can talk to their counselor, and their counselor can send us that information, and we'll get them a fee waiver. So they'll actually waive the $30 fee. Then you need to send in your test scores, the ACT we've been talking about. You need to send in your high school transcripts and your shot records, your MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. So it's not really that hard at all to apply, but Strive for 5. Apply online, $30 fee, shot records, test scores, and transcripts.
All right.
And we will get you admitted if you meet our criteria.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jason, Mr. Terry, Miss Andrea.
I just had one more thing. Can I throw one more thing in there?
Yes, sir.
Just we're here to help, and we're at the university to help students. And if you have questions about admission, about scholarships, about the FAFSA, about the lottery scholarship, whatever it may be, feel free to call us. Even if it's not us, even if you're thinking about going somewhere else, get to know some of the people at the institution, get to know some people in financial aid office, wherever it may be. But get to know those folks so that you can have a source to be able to get your questions answered.
Do not navigate this alone. I promise you will get overwhelmed very quickly. So please reach out to someone. Even parents, if you feel overwhelmed, reach out to someone that can help you navigate through this. So I want to thank you all again, and we hope that you all enjoy. Are you on for the rest of this week, or you?
No, we're working through Wednesday.
Working through.
Yes.
All right. Well, hope everyone has a great week that are off, and everyone have a very blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice